What is happening, everybody? Happy Sunday to you. It's a great time to be back. We're back in action. One of your favorite shows that seems everybody loves here. It's IE Creators. Always having a good time. Always talking about creating stuff.
And what's not to love?
Exactly. Can't do the show without the two of my favorite creators of all time. If we had one more, it'd be Mike from High School Creations. And maybe 796. But
I put them way above me.
Like we're all creative. We all got our creative spots that we're good at. But nonetheless, we got Mr. Steph Detour Customs here. And then Mr. Damien D. Blake Makes. How you gentlemen doing?
What's going on, guys? Happy February.
Yes. Happy New Year, actually.
Season of love.
Yeah, it's about that time. Winter cuffing season.
Cuffing season. What is that anyway? Is that like where you cuff your pants? Like, I don't know what that means. What is cuffing season?
Well, it's cuffing. When it's cold and you got to cuddle, and it's that's when people try to shack up.
Is that called cuffing?
Yeah.
Or I mean, I know women call it big boy season.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. I know why they I get I'll get you a man because it's holidays, get some gifts, get somebody nice to snuggle up to, but I don't understand the whole cuffing,
Also, if you rearrange some of those letters, it implies.
That's fair.
That's how you get more kids during the year.
Yeah. All those kids born in November. Here we go.
I was just gonna say that's why all them kids coming in September and October, November. That's because of your cuffing season right there.
Evil Scorpios.
Exactly.
Real
quick
stickers?
Before we get to our guest here, we're gonna go ahead and go through the comments real quick. We got Random Stuff Garage says, "Love these guys. Looking forward to this one. Thank you. Appreciate it." Mark Rose says, "What's up?" RG says, "What's up?" Dom Chichiaro says, "Hey. Great. Art is here at the start. What shenanigans is this?" And Greg says, "D Blake, show us your favorite print of the Tiger Force emblem."
Man, he's bringing it back.
See,
that's a good callback. That was a good callback.
Mine's Todd McFarlane. Yours is now Tiger Force now, so you'll never live it.
I got nothing against Tiger Force. I just don't Joe. I don't collect Joes.
You don't Yo Joe?
I can't Yo Joe. I ain't got that kind. Man, the same reason I can't do Toon Turtles. It's just too many of them, man. Like when you don't stop. You can't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Look how much trouble they got Diddy in.
Look at what?
All right. Oh. Well, let's bring in our guest, Mr. Greg from Super Action Stuff. How you doing, sir?
Hey, what's up, guys? Good to see y'all again.
What's going on?
What's going on, Greg? How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Yeah.
You are busy. You opened up your pre-orders, huh? Your orders for Game On.
Game On is in stock. I literally got all got the shipment on Friday. So thank you. Yeah. It's handling a lot of boxes. I don't know, I'm stupid. I handle all this my own. So it was like 100 plus cartons, just carrying them and breaking my back. So I'll regret that when I get older.
Your kids aren't old enough. Your kid's not old enough to help you yet.
No. But trust me, the second he can lift 30 pounds, then I'm going to put him on that duty.
Get to work.
Absolutely. That's it.
I apologize. I'm part of that reason. Yeah, but I appreciate you do some fast shipping because I'll have mine here by tomorrow. So
nice. I'm glad. Yeah, no, I know it's important to get it out quickly. So with the anticipation, I got to get it out. I know, especially you guys. You photograph it. Use some free marketing for me.
Right,
like this.
I know. I feel so bad. You sent me like these promos. I have not gotten a chance to like break it out, and like I played with them a bit, and I just haven't had a chance to like really just showcase them because
it's been crazy the past couple months. Like I have like piles and piles of toys I haven't like opened up yet.
Yeah, I'm still trying to settle into my new house. We've been here for like 4 months now, and like
nice.
I'm like talking to my wife. Like I got to get my boxes unpacked. Like I'm just going crazy right now, looking at these boxes. I need to be settled in, get my figures out, get some photos. Getting my groove back. Yeah, it's hard.
It's stressful. Anxiety must be like through the roof for you, man. Like
crazy.
That's your coping mechanism, your therapy, and it's hard to even get it going.
Especially when it's all boxed up.
Yeah.
You're just like,
it's all boxed up.
Displayed.
Right. But thank you, Greg, for coming to join us. I know it's a kind of last minute thing, but appreciate your time. And we definitely just want to get the word out there for Game On and Casket of Cruelty and the Cursed Crate and all the other amazing things you do for us as collectors. Just the accessories you put out are just such high quality and such a wide variety of things for all of us to really just use for our figures. And we just thought it'd be great to kind of dive into your psyche a little bit and think about, like, you know, how do you come up with a lot of these things? Because obviously you're a collector. We see your posts. Your posts are, again, top notch with the little comics. It really reminds me of Twisted Toy Fair Theater, those old stuff. And you really just kill it with all these accessories. So, yeah, why don't you, I guess, kind of give us a little bit of background, like what got you into all this?
I mean, I've been a toy collector for a while. I mean, I started off like G.I. Joes when I was a kid, and then I got into like the Toy Biz X-Men, and then I went off a little bit of a break as I got older and had to do like more grown-up things. But eventually, I got back into it like everyone else. When like toys just started getting brave, like Legends and a bunch of other lines. So it didn't stop, and then it got to the point where, you know, I was just thinking about. I want to do toys on my own, and I was just kind of, I came up with the idea, like, let me try to do accessories, because in the toy production standpoint, when they're making action figures, you know, you make the figure, you make the accessories, you figure out the deco hits and the paint, but when budgets start getting in the way, the first things that come out are like the deco hits, and the second thing comes out are the accessories. So I noticed there was like a dip in accessories for a while, and I was thinking, can I make accessories for like all the different like action figure lines out there? So I try to cover as many demos, whether it's like Marvel, Star Wars, wrestling, Turtles. If I'm covering enough bases, I feel like I have enough like audience that can use this stuff. And I'm trying to make stuff generally generic, covering different genres, so that maybe if it's just martial arts like weapons and stuff, yeah, Turtles can use those, Walking Dead people can use those, Marvel can use those. But I always find I like see as creative uses of people using these things with like Alf or Plunderlings or a bunch of other lines. So just I love the creativity and community. I like to just make the stuff, throw it out there, and see what people do with it.
And just let them do whatever they want.
Yeah, it's in your namesake too. Super action stuff. This is it's not niche, because everything you make covers down on literally all of the lines we collect. You know, one of your packages can satisfy at least 3/4 of someone's an eclectic collector's range of figures, you know, whether it be like a Mythic Legions with the swoosh and the blood effects, the vomit effects, the boxing gloves. That's such a novelty item. Like, these are things that are essential, and like you said, was missing from a lot of what we've been collecting lately for the past, I want to say, 10+ years, where we saw that dip in accessories and interchangeability. So, I mean, great product, man. Really, really great product.
Thank you. Like, I mean, the fan base and the community is awesome. They share it. My creativity level is capped. I can only figure out so many different ways to use this stuff. But I know if I make these things, if I make VR headsets and Game Boys and arcades, people are going to figure out like ridiculously hilarious combinations with different characters with them, and that's what I love most. I love seeing people use them and figuring out new, unique ways of using them. You tag me, I will share that shit every single time.
Right.
Yeah. Especially the accessories that we do get in there, because like there's stuff I was like, man, like how can I use this? And you sit there and you think about it, like, okay, I got wacky characters I can use. Like Deadpool, like the one I post, like I kind of posted, it was just like him just holding the axe. It's just, you know, it does something for it. But it's like, yo, it does have a use somewhere. And even with I think I had one time I had Spider-Man holding it for a second, and it kind of reminded me of when they had the comic series for Marvel, when it was like they were going like fighting for the 9 realms, and Spider-Man was holding the weapon, had the helmet, and had the horse, had Pegasus. But it kind of reminded me like that. I was like, oh yeah, like I can actually like make this figure basically just from what you've given me, the accessories and the other stuff I found like from G.I. Joe. I'm like, oh, mash these together, bam, you got what you need. So that you can mix and match everything, which is great.
Totally.
No matter what line it is, as Steph said. And I think that's what makes it even better. And now that you've given us the Casket of Cruelty,
Cursed Crate.
Cursed Crate. Thank you.
Crate. You got it right in front of you. I
know my brain shuts down half the time. Like,
I can, it's starting to get difficult for me to keep track of them all too.
It is, and now Game On, man. These things, yes. I mean, every single thing you do, you take it up another level. And I mean, I just remember 2022, the Legions Con. You know, you were handing out basically the food items. You know, we were distributing the food items, and that was just and New York Comic Con, you had them right with the Plunderlings table and everything. You were with Ricky. And like you were just kind of like getting out there and just had these things on a blister pack on a card, and those were cool themselves. A slice of pizza, a mug of beer, a chicken leg, an ice cream cone, stuff like that was just so cool. And then you just kind of just ramped up from there and just went nuts, and then knocked it out of the park with the Casket of Cruelty and having like an actual scale casket and all the cool stuff in there, and how all that stuff kind of interchanges with one handle for a chainsaw or a concrete cutter. That's just great. And then like you got your curse crate with kind of all the alien effects, and now the Game On is just again absolutely crazy with basketballs. I got it all spread on my desk right now. Basketballs, hockey sticks, footballs, the camera that has a regular, like a Nikon camera that has a regular lens or a giant telephoto lens that you could put on there. That's
for the photography community.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you've got the spray paint can that's got the nozzle. By the way, I had the hardest time getting this default nozzle off. I thought I was going to break it. It was very difficult to get out. And the only reason I realized it was because these spray caps had the same, like I knew it had to go in there. So I really pulled it out. So just to let you guys know, when you get this, go on.
Yeah. So like when I was originally getting like the prototypes and everything, they painted those separately, so everything fit in really nice. But then for whatever reason, the factory, they put it together first and then painted it, and the paint basically sealed that top. You can wiggle it out there, like so if anyone has trouble with them, if you can use most of the time your fingernails and like wiggle it out there. But otherwise, get some like pliers, put a little bit of cloth or like tissue paper so that doesn't, and you can like wiggle it out. It does come out, but that should have been painted before, not after. Unfortunately,
I figured that's exactly what happened. I just used some pair of needle-nose pliers and very gently wiggled it, and it once the paint snapped, it came right out. Yeah. But just for anybody out there that's getting this, don't be discouraged. It does come out, the little nozzle. And again, these opaque, these like clear paint pieces are just so good, man. They're just awesome. They just pop in there, and then they just these really
like
takes
Vapors
it home.
Are like one of my favorite like Mezco figures, and it was made pretty much for him.
I figured as much. Yeah, that's. Yeah. I think I know a lot of people that are looking forward to that. And you got like your little gas mask that can go on there, and a little N95 masks. Like, dude, you really just think of everything. There's a switch, and then this kind of took me for a second to figure it out. But these are seeing stars, right? So you put these like somebody got their lights knocked out.
Exactly.
And you put stars on there.
That's a stun, like Street Fighter type effect.
Yeah, you got like Beats headphones, dude. Like, I mean, really, you just, I just love the
headphones
idea.
Took me the longest to develop because I knew there was a lot of companies that had done headphones, but they were either fit for the character it came from, or looks too big or looks too small. So they're adjustable.
Adjustable. They can widen. Yeah, dude, they're adjustable. Like you really went out of your way on this stuff, Greg. I mean, honestly,
because I really wanted characters that have like good headphones that fit for at least most of them.
A folding chair that folds. That's perfect for wrestling, right? I mean, there's no wrestling figures that have folding chairs, right? Is there any
decent amount of like sets out there with folding chairs?
Yeah, are there?
I wanted to improve on it a little bit, but I thought it was like something like that was just essential for. It's like this is like my random everything set. So I just like
it really is.
I need folding chairs for like my figures because it's too difficult to find ones in the right scale.
Yeah, exactly. Because most of the ones that they do for the wrestling are all black. They're not like you won't get too many like different color ones. But that's nice that you get a little option. Have a silver chair, which is great because it does break it up.
All right. So was there anything that you wanted to include in any of your crates that just wasn't working for you? Just was not, that you got discouraged on or anything? Because I know a lot of us sometimes get discouraged when things aren't working our way. And anything like that has ever happened to you, or that you're still you really want to get to work one day and you're still trying to develop it?
Yeah, I have a lot of sets I want to do. And it's just a matter of time, energy, and money. I can only do so many things at once. I probably need to get this like a project manager to help me out eventually. But so if anyone's interested, you know, I need to grow if I want to keep on making stuff. But in terms of actual products, I don't know. Whenever I make a set, it's usually like 30, 40 type items, and I pare it down a little bit. I try to fit it because one thing I'm always looking at is price point. I want to make sure that's not getting too expensive. So like the arcade sets is like that's probably the most it will go, and it originally was going to be around 30, 35, but I was going to do like a light model that's a deluxe, and then after I have like the basic and the light, I'm like the light needs to happen. You know, it's the value add is there, so I had to do the lights rather than have like a basic option with no lights. I don't know. Like I'm sure I have like a list somewhere of like earlier kind of concepts. I can't think of anything specific, but every time I want to do something, I basically try to figure out how to put it in some other set. I know I've definitely tried to get a lot of action features, like effects, like either blood or big effects. And sometimes when things are too big, like I do a lot of product testing. Make sure I play around with myself to figure out, is it going to stick on the figure? If it's too big, things flop. They're not going to stick for too long.
What's your favorite way of attaching them? What's your favorite way of attaching your accessories?
So I did a lot of testing on this too. So the wax that I sell on my website, it's not proprietary. If you want to get it, it's like it's the same type of wax that magicians use for like floating cards. And things like that.
I know that stuff. Yeah.
So
okay,
I've got the name of the brand, but I found this. I got a lot of different like magicians wax things. And I found
everybody has to buy it from you. Everybody buys it from Greg's website. Super Action stuff.
Exactly. It's good. So, like if you want to throw it in so you don't have to find it, that's fine. I forgot the name of the brand because I don't care if people get it. It's like it's not expensive. But between that and there's some like higher quality sticky tack things. I think like Loctite is like their sticky tack's a little bit better. So you know, like bigger accessories. That's pretty. I use that a lot. So between those two, I'm usually pretty good with sticking things together. Yeah, even like basic sticky tack is fine. It works.
I use the blue Loctite. It's pretty solid.
Mm-hmm. I like the white because the white always feels like it's less. Blue always sticks out to me. Like I feel like the white is more. It blends in a little bit better. But either way,
that's a little bit more hides a little better.
Oh, okay.
Just real quick, we got some comments here. Stryden says hello, everyone. Matthew says hello. NJ Tree says hello, guys. Greg says I foresee many Miles Morales figures using that spray paint. Matthew also says with quite a few vehicles coming out for 1/12 scales, tools for repairing vehicles would be useful.
Tool sets. Okay.
Yeah.
Monkey wrench.
Like a Craftsman tool chest, and then you could have all your different tools in there, hammer, wrench set, something like that. Yeah.
That could be a no.
Who knows what Greg's already working on? We don't want, as a creator, and I think as all creators here, I think one of the worst things people say to you is, it would be really cool if you made.
Yeah.
Right?
It'd be a nice little side project. You just have like one of the, so it'd be something like this, but it's just like the Craftsman tool set on wheels.
Yeah.
And you just have like the different drawers, but one has tools, like one has.
Well, the drawers I don't know if would open, but at least it would be a container for all the pieces. The back would open or the top would open or something, and it would just be a front face that looks like the drawers.
Knowing
Greg, that definitely has a lot of use.
He'd definitely make a shadow box with real tools in it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. He'd have drawers, working drawers.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea with all the vehicles coming out. It would go really well with the Ronin Racer and his tank and all this. And the vamp.
Yep.
I'll give you a hint. Like I'm thinking about vehicles too, but not like this. I have something that I'm working on, but it's more fun. It's smaller.
Ooh.
Okay.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Greg says laser tag type sets. I have a feeling people will enjoy. Mark Tatak says evening Dante from the UK. Let's see. We got Mike Heck says, "Sup, y'all." Don says, "More food sets. I need to make an Italian restaurant." Mike says, "Yeah, Damien, that gets that. Damien gets a ton from me." Matthew says, "Dante definitely knows what I'm thinking." Greg says, "Steph and Dante have never had me tossing them ideas ever."
Greg has the best ideas, man. I swear.
He does. Robert says, "I have a 112 scale snap on toolbox. The Y you call it a business card holder. Oh, the Y call it a business card holder. Okay, I can see that. You don't want to be a business card holder. You want to have some functionality. You want to have be able to play with.
Mm-hmm.
And Matthew says, "Ordered the latest set directly from your site. Should be coming this week." So there we go.
Nice.
Thank you. I think I shipped that one out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Like I said, I have mine tomorrow, so I'm happy. Like I can't wait. I ordered both. I ordered both arcades.
I had this at Toy-Con, and I had it out on my table. And Matthew, everybody was over. They were taking it apart. They were playing with all the little pieces. It was fun, you know. We were just kind of playing with it. I mean, the Oculus headset. Like, what goes into your brain that makes you think like we need Quest headsets and the little Quest handles? Like, what are you thinking when what else? You just, like you said, you probably have a list of like 40 things, right? And are those like kind of like the easiest things to throw in there, or like what goes through your mind when you're coming up with these ideas?
Yeah, well, sometimes I start with in this case, I was thinking about the container first, because like once I started doing the casket, I'm like, wow, the container as a set is perfect because it's an opportunity to like do a large piece and then just fill it up with all the little junk. So then you start looking at like what are things that people need, and like arcade sets. You know, there's a lot of people making great arcade sets. I'm like, okay, sure. let's lean into that space. And then I saw Fortnite did theirs. Like it was literally when I was working on the sculpting for mine. And I was finalizing that this is going to be the next set. Fortnite dropped theirs, but luckily theirs was just complete garbage. So, but like it went down
$3, but at $3, people were scooping them up. You know, I have like 4 or 5 of them before I, you know.
Yeah, for $3, that's definitely a good deal. But they're not great. I knew for the photographer crowd, you need something a little bit better with lights. So I think now like there's also like great like customizers out there who are making like 112 Shadow Moses makes some really, really nice arcade sets. Prime first also like does incredible like. So I think I actually encourage you buy those too, because if you want to make your own arcade, not every single machine looks the same. So you want to make your arcade, you can fill it out with a lot of these different like designs and everything. I really encourage you get it from them too, because they have like some really, really nice designs. I'm not going to be able to do a Marvel vs. Capcom one, but they have those, and you know that's. Yeah, I think if you want to fill out that space and something like to me, it's very appealing to have a bunch of characters playing games together in an arcade. So yeah, it is fun. Damien, so your question, kind of like when I started filling out that set, I'm like, okay, what is the set game going to be? And I pretty much figured, okay, so let's make it about like fun accessories. I'm gonna move away from the violence for a little bit, and just have like fun accessories, just focus on play. So I mean, I got an Oculus too sometime during like the pandemic, because that's what everyone's getting. So I'm like, all right, this might be where the future of gaming goes. But in any case, it's kind of, I was thinking about doing like console games too, because I've seen other companies do like I think Figure Out did like there was a set, like a console. It's like a little Genesis and a little Nintendo or something. Yeah, I've seen that on Big Bad. But I felt that having characters hold a controller and playing, there's limited like playability there. I felt.
Sure.
So whereas an Oculus, a VR headset, there's kind of more action involved, right?
Right.
So I'm like, all right, as an accessory, it's a very easy thing to do. It's small, it's light, but you can tell a lot of stories with that Oculus. You know, I think when the Oculus came out, there were tons of videos of people just, breaking
crashing the TVs. Exactly. Yep. Yeah, or falling off of a plank. You know, So there's definitely a lot of good use for that in photography. I love that you have like these visions, and like you said, you kind of just throw it out there and let the community do what they want with it. But you have a starting point, the photographers, the collectors are out there, because I think the way you're successful is because you're one yourself, right? You have to be one yourself and fill that niche for yourself to and know that you're not alone, right? You're not the only one with these ideas. Let me put this out there and see what everybody else wants.
Yeah.
No, a lot of it's like stuff that I want. If I think it's stupid or funny, I'm gonna make it, and then I've shared stuff with you. Like I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think? So there's a lot of people in the photography community. I'll say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. Do you think you could use this? So I kind of just bounce ideas around a lot of people who are just around this hobby all the time.
Totally.
I mean, I can't just make stuff for me. I gotta make stuff for everyone.
Yep. Exactly. Well, it's like you said, you might have 40 pieces in this box. Maybe only 20 pertain to somebody, but I mean, the value is there. I mean, they're literally less than $1 a piece, these little pieces, So, I mean, the production to create them, I mean, I can't even imagine like how it's profitable because, the work and the scaling and the tooling and all the back and forth just for a boxing glove or just for a hockey puck or a little coffee cup that says meh on it.
Right.
And you just throw them all in the box and it hits for some people and some people it doesn't, it stays in the box. But, if one person finds that one piece that they needed, like that one basketball for all the starting lineup figures, you needed an extra basketball or, the football for even old McFarlane, sports figures, like you can go back to old figures and give them new life with these accessories.
Right.
Yeah,
it's
like with the sports ones, like we got the Super Bowl next week. I hope people are using that for, whatever Avengers versus X-Men or Justice League, whatever they want to do. There's so many opportunities.
And then, I mean, you got this huge fire trail, and every time I look at this, I just think of NBA Jam. He's on fire, And
exactly. Yeah.
That was what you were thinking when you made this, because this is straight 100%. Out of the video game.
100%.
Yeah.
That.
Oh, yeah.
Like I did it for the basketball. I'm like, it makes sense for the soccer ball too. It makes sense for the football.
Yeah, every single one of these balls, it has a meaning for every one of these balls. Like soccer player. A lot of people are soccer fans. And probably have some collections of some figures, and then so you throw the soccer ball into a net. I gotta find that. This. It's really hard to find the hole in the soccer ball because the black dots. Yeah, there it is. And then you just pop that in there, man. And now you've got a fire kick into the goalie, it's just so good, man.
For the anime Blue Lock fans, that'd be clutch to have that accessory.
Oh,
piece.
yeah.
Oh, man.
What's that?
It's just soccer anime that's like really popular.
Okay.
They love it.
Folks are waiting for the better toys, but once that drops, expect a spike in those sales. It's going to be huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where's my soccer ball? And I need to be on fire.
I know I had it here somewhere.
I saw units in Mexico, so maybe they want the soccer ball.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah, could be. Very likely. What's your favorite accessory? What's one of or maybe do you have like a top 3, or what's something that you find yourself using all the time, or something that you really enjoyed making?
My favorite is definitely the vomit.
Yeah. This particular one from the Game On.
I actually like the blood one the most.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the sculpt, but the blood one, I think, like when you put some lighting behind it, it just pops and it looks great.
Right.
And it's so visual.
It really is.
You can use it with any character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool.
And it doesn't need to come out of the mouth. That's the beauty of it.
Right? Yeah.
It doesn't. You can come out of the butt.
It's worse if it comes out of somewhere else.
Let's not do the front. That's a little more painful.
Yeah.
You never know.
That's great. That's awesome.
Real quick, Stride says we need Transformer blast effects outside of what Hasbro's releasing. Yeah, I ain't think about that. I forget about it's bad that I forget about the Transformer community because I know they want more stuff as well too.
I totally forget.
Yeah, a lot of them bought the firepower accessories I had. So when I released this is like the way back, one of the first sets I did with the food sets, and the second was the Bag of Violence and the firepower ones. And the Bag of Violence ones, which was more catered towards the action figure community, those sold a lot more initially. But then the firepower
one with the bullet streams, right? The little bullets and the bullet streams that came off the bullets.
One had like bullets and like blast effects.
Yes,
but more people wanted the blood effects and like the bat, the axe, and the crowbar, right?
Yes.
But then the firepower ones, actually, I found out that the Transformers community loved them, and we're using it for like different action effects. So it took a little because like that's not my like direct. Like I grew up in Transformers, but if I start collecting Transformers, I will have to like sell my home. So if I
Right.
but I found out that community started buying the Firepower ones because it worked really well with Transformers.
Yeah, that's great. Again, just let the community do what they want and figure out who likes what for what, and
exactly.
it doesn't
I did
just have
show
to
the
be
sci-fi.
Mhm.
I think if you see the sci-fi side, I think I gave like a sneak peek of those. Like I posted like the vending machine.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yep.
So inside that, there's gonna be a lot of more kind of sci-fi weapons and action effects. So there's gonna be like electrical blasts and shrapnel, impact blasts, and I think a lot of that's gonna fit with Transformers folks too. But also, if you want to kind of do your own, there's like light not lightsabers, but laser blades.
Laser
That
blades, I
are
like
in
it.
different colors with like swipe effects. So that's a lot of that's in that set. I think that would be a fun one. There's also gonna be like a Mega Buster like hand cannon and a lot of different
Oh,
effects you can swap
nice.
out for the blast either like a shield or like electricity or like a big like Hadouken blast or a flamethrower. So I think I'm looking forward to that one. That one's gonna be really
That's
fun.
gonna be nice.
That's
Now,
great,
quick
man.
question
When
about that.
Yeah.
Have you thought about like, so like with like just in general, with the Mega Man blast, like, so like let's say a character has on an arm. Have you like thought about like a smoke effect that like the aftershot of it?
Ooh, like a smoking
Yes.
gun
Oh,
effect.
do you mean like the kind of like the Legends ones of like Black Widow? Little like
kind of like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it includes 4 of those, some 4 smoke effects in that set.
Oh, nice.
Big ones and small ones.
All right.
Awesome.
See,
And then
people, we
it will also include conversion pegs, so you can connect it to Mezco and GI Joe guns.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh, wow.
that's awesome.
That's nice.
I love that when people think of things like you took it to the next level. You're just like, oh, he thought of everything. That's great.
Right. Like it's gonna be compatible with my stuff, but I know that people are not. There's more functionality, there's more use if it can fit with other lines out there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robert says I have an Ark of the Covenant business card holder as well. Greg says AV set, old style plastic real overhead projector, modern projectors, 2 real movie projectors, TV, DVD/VHS player.
Really nice projector.
Yo, Greg will throw ideas out you.
Like a home theater dio or something,
Yeah.
But that's great, yo. That's why I love Greg. Like, he gives you like 20 different things you didn't really think about. You're like, yeah, okay, yeah, that sounds cool.
I can use that. Yeah,
that's a lot to do, but that's great.
Yeah.
And Greg will be a projector with a light in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one I was thinking about that. Like, can we do a projector with like kind of things in there? But I don't know, that might get complicated.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it's a good idea.
I mean, with the overhead, if you're doing like one of those like the old school like school overhead projectors, if you can like, I would say if it's possible, like make the back like the bottom of it slide off, and then if you just have it over like a little.
You're talking about the old ones that you put the clear on, and it had the little triangle, and it would come out. Man, that's old. You know how old you have to be to know those? Our age.
Our age, yeah.
You know what? It doesn't matter. These kids need to learn something anyway.
I know, right?
My kid's got a smart TV, like a smart board in her classroom, and the teacher like writes. It's like an 86-inch TV that they broadcast the computer up, and they can write on it like it's crazy. They got these special like markers.
They can't do cursive, sir.
Right?
Exactly. They can't find their names to save their lives.
But do they know the Dewey Decimal System?
Absolutely.
No, that's way gone. That's gone, man.
Yeah.
Dewey Decimal System.
Probably haven't set foot in a library, let alone the Dewey Decimal.
They don't know the struggle. They don't know the struggle of blowing into a cartridge to make it work.
We didn't have Google as kids. We had to go to a library and use the Dewey Decimal System.
Graphing calculator.
Encyclopedia. Who had an encyclopedia set on their shelf?
Yeah.
Britannica, baby.
New Book of Knowledge, Britannica. Yeah, exactly. You think
Matthew says, Matthew says I already have a shot idea with the headset inspired by the Apple Vision Pro videos. So those goggles are going to come in clutch.
Mm-hmm.
Craig says the VR headset lends itself to the big to the VR MMO diode setups for people make their anime setups. Matches especially with IG and TikTok guidelines against weapons, going with props of less violence is a smart way to go.
I didn't think about that.
I guess again, Greg always got some ideas. Blast, power, and martial art movement effects are few and far between.
Yeah,
I'm working on martial arts.
Mike says my only complaint is the super the shredder paper. That's all.
that's what I was just gonna say. I got a whole bunch of it here. Yeah, it's good though. You know,
I gotta play around the factory. There's it's it's like it's a pinata when you open up, but I'm trying to work the fact on like what's like a good way to make sure there's proper padding, but it's not like
great.
That's not. I mean, the paper's good. My only caveat with the paper is I'm afraid I'm going to lose an accessory in the paper.
Yeah.
You know, I have to when I open it, I have to have a full table, empty table, and just kind of shake all the paper out and make sure nothing got caught up in the paper.
Yeah. For some of them, I think some of the ones that shipped, the paper bag is in a bag, so it's kind of contained, so it's not all loose.
Yes, in the Game On, they were in a bag. I recall that was it was like a bag with the paper, which was cool. I actually just opened up the Cursed Crate and got all the paper in there. So, but it's all good, man. It's again you just got to be careful. Just be careful when you open it. That's it.
Definitely, because I you know what? Because when I got my casket, I was like, why does it feel like something else is in here? I hear something rattling in here. Like, what is this? I'm like, I dumped it out. Like, oh shoot, there's extra food in here.
Right.
And I didn't know. Like, it threw me off. I was like, oh snap! I didn't know this. I was like, okay, I didn't know this was gonna be in here. I'm like, all right, cool, this is great.
No, you buy from me directly. I'm gonna throw in wax. I'm gonna throw in extra food items.
Right.
Yeah. I love that. I always get like a little bag with a little ice cream or something in there. It's really it's just a nice touch. And so going forward, do you think you're always going to do some kind of a holder with your figures? Are you not going to do any kind of like single blister packs like the food stuff again?
Depends. I mean, but for the most part, I really like the holder idea because it gives an opportunity to do those larger items.
I just asked because I used the Casket of Cruelty. And I took all of the Bag of Violence and all the food items, and I put everything's in my Casket of Cruelty, so it's all in one place, and it all fit very nicely, actually. So
the unspoken issue with all us collectors is storage. It's a big issue that all of us have. So you can never have too many like little tiny boxes, and then that's also why
the fact that these boxes,
weapons rack.
Your boxes go into the collections. They're not just something you throw into a drawer or something,
Right. So you can use them as display pieces too for whatever you're trying to do.
Right.
Always good.
That's also like how I came up with the idea for the weapons rack.
Yes. Oh, yes. The weapons rack. Those things that's so great.
Yeah.
How it's all modular. I love that. Yeah.
So great.
That's open for pre-order now, right?
Yeah.
That's open for pre-order. I was trying. They're actually manufactured already. I have a case of them nearby, but actually, let me see if I can grab that one. So 1 second.
What were you going to ask, Dante? What Greg's getting at?
I know I was going to ask. I know me and Greg had talked about 3D printing because he had talked about printing out some prototypes a little bit.
Look at his setup in the back. You see his setup, how he does his pictures.
I got all this stuff. So I'm dealing with like very limited real estate. But no, this is 2 sets just like that. So
that's only 2 sets.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's 8 plates each. So I'm playing around with this because I got a lot of like big ideas what I'm going to do with this eventually. But these are already manufactured. They're sitting in I was trying to get them shipped out before when it's Chinese New Year in China, everything just stops. So I was trying to get these shipped out for the holidays, and I was hoping to get them within like 2 months, but now it's probably gonna be like 3 months because of that delay. But these are ready. These are made. These are just waiting to get across the water.
Awesome. Okay.
So I may have some secret drops in the coming weeks. We'll see. But this is this thing's very I spent a lot of time making this, and actually
when you just showed I thought you were going to say that was 4 sets. I thought you were going to say that's probably 3 to 4 sets. That's only 2 sets.
There's only 2 sets, so you can make yourself like a sizable room with this.
You can.
And so it's pretty easy to it took a long time to get the tolerances right because it's got to be easy to it's got to hold and not be be floppy and fall apart.
Yeah.
Right.
So that probably took like 8 months just to get that right. I was going through a lot of different samples and prototypes. But But yeah, this is like very easy to just take off and then move
I mean,
to
it's so
the next
modular.
state.
That's so great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like Lego pieces at this point, where you can
Right.
really just go to town with how you want to lay it out. You can make boxes and anything out of that thing now.
Yeah, I mean, I when people start playing with this, there's a lot of things I have no idea what they're going to do with it. Oops,
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
You see, now that you showed me that, and I got plenty of ideas now. I got plenty of ideas.
Right.
Now you can.
So eventually, like these are selling pretty well. So the idea of this one is eventually to have this be kind of like the base for dioramas. So I want to get like sculpted plates, like brick walls, and like castle walls, or
and then you can just peg it in, right?
Right.
You peg it in, and it's modular. So
Centaurians, all right? It'd be like Centaurian. You're just pegging stuff in and making your own stuff, man. And that's just your base wall.
Because
and you just peg
modular,
in.
You can make an alleyway, you can make a back wall, you can have like windows and stuff too. So I have street as well, so I have pavement and sidewalks. So the idea is that you can make a small kind of street background if you want, but you buy more, you can make it as big as you want it to be.
And then you have the different accessory packs depending on what you collect. If you're into like Mythic Legions and you want castles and rocks, or if you want alleyways because you've got like a Daredevil or a Punisher set, and you make an alleyway with brick walls and windows. Like, yeah, that's great.
Yo,
wow,
right there. That. Think about that. Going with High School Creations Wall XD.
Wall XD. Yo, yeah, that's when I saw that, I immediately thought of Wall XD and how that's gonna intermesh with Wall XD. It's like
perfect.
Yeah, they're gonna be great together.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, there's so many great creators. Like, I buy a lot of dioramas backgrounds too. I'm trying to make them too. I realize how much work it goes into make these things.
Oh yeah.
But the more diversity you have in like kind of your backgrounds, kind of it fills out what your street scene is going to look like. So I encourage you again, like, but support the diorama makers, because it's just that's the amount of time and energy it goes into make those things. Like, if it's like $100, it's totally worth it. Because trust me, I tried making them myself, and it's a lot of work.
Yeah. Indeed.
I saw a lot of people complaining about the price of the sewer dio from TMNT, right? So many people online in Facebook groups were complaining, well, I can make it myself. And then people went to make it themselves, and they're like, I think I saved about $13.
Your time is lost.
Yeah, exactly. Right. By the time they got the materials and everything else, I mean, they saved like $12, $13 instead of just buying the thing themselves,
Biggest thing, they don't see what happens behind the scenes, all the effort that goes into, like, Greg, like you said, just for that modular piece, it was 8 months of back and forth just to make sure you got it right. That effort is, you can't equate that to $13 in savings, So when you have someone like you who's putting out premium quality products, for the casual who's just kind of walking by, oh yeah, that's just something easy someone can make. I could go print that. Wrong. That's wrong. The interoperability your pieces have within several lines, that takes years and years of research and effort and dedication to really get that out there into the market. And I just don't think a lot of folks understand what it takes to really put that kind of product out.
Yeah. And you know what? And I'll say this too. Greg did school me on that a little bit too when we were talking at New York Comic Con, because we were talking in front of NECA booth, and I was like, "Is it really worth it?" And I was thinking to myself, "Is that dio really worth it?" And he explained to me. I was like, "Yeah, Greg, I see." I had to come back.
I know why it's at price. I mean, they're also getting a decent margin on it because they can do this economies of scale. They can make a certain amount. They can make money on it, but it's huge. Like, something like that is not easy to ship. No matter what, it's going to cost you like $50 to ship that to a consumer.
Easy.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. Like, my big issue of that is not all of our displays are the same size. So, I like the NECA Street Scene one. That's a great value. It's around $120, something like that.
Yeah,
that's actually a really good value for what it is. But not everyone has that space. Like, a lot of us are just are limited with like the shelving that we have. They don't have the space or something like that. Or it's already full of like his tanks and other stuff and Galactus.
Right.
So,
Galactus. Right.
Yeah. So I think there's we have DTOF. It's not going to fit a DTOF. So
right.
It's really difficult for the dioramas. That's why it's really still a customizer, like, one-off community. I'm hoping of these, once I start getting dioramas, because these can fit in any space, this will fill out the backdrop to your bookshelf, to your DTOF, to whatever.
Yeah,
So
really will.
and if I can make more of these, I can drop the price, and that's ultimately what I want to do.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, you probably, knowing you, have you kind of scaled it to the point where you know that 5 units next to each other is exactly like 11 or 15 inches, whatever it is for a DTOF width?
It's close. It's. I used to have like 5 DTOFs, and then
Right.
you have a kid and you realize those things are hazards. So
Yeah. For
yeah. So it fits in a DTOF, but like there's a little bit of room. It's not exact because I was trying to make sure these plates were like the right size for like a weapons rack. That was kind of more important because I knew
that scales better with the
most people
figures.
use that.
Yeah. I mean, I've just seen a few of the promo pics and like people with the Punisher and stuff like that, and just the little peg hooks, and you're sticking them in there, and you put all your weapons up there. I mean, it really is gonna it's a game changer. It really is for just everybody collecting.
I hope so, because like my issue, I remember going through like my Mezco's accessories and the weapons, and it all just like in little bags. I'm like, I want to be able to display these.
Yeah,
so
it doesn't even have to be weapons. It can just be. It could be your extra hands, right? I mean, it could be you can use those, and there's probably ways that other 3D creators like us can think of different types of pegs, right? So you get the millimeter for the peg size and say, okay, I want like something that would cup a head sculpt or something, right? And then I make the peg and I make like a ball joint, and then I put that in the wall, and I can put all my extra head sculpts or something in there. He's like, I already thought of that. Look, he's like, I got that already.
Yeah, so like one of the things I want to do with these is this is like very simple. So awesome. One of the things I want to do with this was I wanted to, when people are displaying the figures, what's the biggest issue? They fall down all the time.
Right.
So I want to be able to take advantage of the pegs. To create like little stands for figures.
Right.
I couldn't include this in the set because the peg holes are different between McFarlane and Legends and Star Wars and G.I. Joe and Mezco's are all different. So I have the tolerances figured out. I'll make like I'll make it downloadable, so dudes like Dante with a 3D printer can just make them at scale themselves. So that's like a bonus you get this. You get a 3D printer. You can have these for free.
It's funny because I was going to say earlier, same thing, like the interoperability between the figures. Like people always ask me to make my nameplates into figure stands with peg holes. Yeah. And I said, I can't, because even Legends, the peg holes are different between figures.
It's not consistent.
Even McFarlane, there's no consistent peg hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was making this. I'm like, wait a second, how come the Deadpool one's different from this other figure? And I'm like, oh wait, they have different peg holes. G.I. Joe's too. G.I. Joe's are not consistent. So I'm gonna try my damnedest to like kind of make something standardized, but for like 3 or 4 different.
The only thing I've seen that's standard are the sandal. Have you seen the sandal hooks? How it's like a cup like this, and it comes up off the thing, and you slide it like a sandal. That works. I'm not a fan of it, but it works.
I'm not a fan. It's a little distracting. But it's secure. It doesn't work for all feet either. So you have like a Mythic Legion's like metal boot. It's not.
That's true. Yeah.
One other thing I'm going to try to have is this one I'm calling a stiletto, but basically allows you to like have it at an angle, so you can do like an action pose.
Okay.
So
that's cool.
Too.
That's dope.
That's nice, because then it gives you more. If you've got a walking pose or something, like you can get that foot into like a walking pose, but still have the stability of not just balancing your figure on one foot.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, like I'm not Jay Hernandez who can just like do that pose like easily.
Right?
Whenever I try that, all that shit falls down. So this is my way to
blow that man. No, don't blow that. Don't get that man's ego all up. Because next time I see him, he's like, "Hey, you got mentioned on the show." He's like, "Oh, did I?" Jay's cool. Like, he doesn't get like that. But Jay's great.
How do you?
I was going to say real quick 2 things. The Legends with the women, I noticed that if back in the day when Mattel used to sell the DC Universe figure stands, they worked for them.
Mm-hmm.
They work for the women, like with the heels, so those do work well. My other question was going to be so how are you liking now be able to print out your own prototypes now with 3D printing?
It's amazing. Like So I have like my SLA printer. I got that in like 2018. I don't know. I got that in like 2016 or 2017, and it's so incredible. Like just like making stuff for myself. Like I'm trying to I subscribe to Don Man Art, and he offers like amazing stuff. And I've been spending the last month printing out the what's that Arctic tank for the Joes.
Oh yes. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it broke my printer once already just trying to make it because there's so many pieces. But the fact you just like make vehicles just as like a hobbyist, it's incredible. Like make diorama backgrounds. All my backgrounds are like 3D printed. That's great. But now that I'm using the resin one, it's perfect for the accessories. So I'm finding a lot of stuff. I'm like scaling down just to, like test whether it would work. I can work with people. Like before, I had to get it sculpted, send it to my factory overseas. They would make the test. They would make the samples. They'll paint them, send it back to me. I review them. Then they'll gotta like make changes and say, like, so there'd be this like 1 month process of going back and forth between prototypes. Now I can just scale it myself, make those fixes on my own, and not have to work. I'm only really relying on them to like make sure we get the paint samples done correctly.
Right.
So that's gonna speed up and also like help me on development as well. I still don't have any time, but
that's huge.
It is helping me out.
I'm saving.
That segues in, or actually, you took the words out of my mouth. I was gonna ask, what is your prototype process like? Like, what do you use to design, and are you printing prototypes in house to scale and figure out how they go? What's kind of like the process, how you get to where you're going.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of just like randomly finding stuff out there, seeing what people are playing with, seeing what like photographers are using, and I kind of work out ideas for sets in my mind. So I like kind of like an idea for like a music set. I'm working on a magic one right now. I got a martial arts set. I'm looking at what other companies have done really well. Like Kyoto has some like great action effects they've put in with their My Hero Academia figures. But not everyone's going to buy $100 figure just for the accessories. So I can make accessories that kind of emulate those action effects, or like
a training dummy or something like that. Right.
Like there's some like great wrist effects that they're pretty creative about making that can like generate some like great impact effects, like great punching or whatever. Okay. So I'm always looking at that kind of stuff to figure out how I can incorporate that into these sets. As well as like figure like how can I fit this all under like a comprehensive theme. And then once I kind of figure out what I want to set, I start kind of like looking. I'm not an artist. I don't have that skill set. So okay. I'll find like source images to kind of figure out what I want to generally look like. I'll work with someone. I work very closely with Green Bomb Productions. He's really, really talented. So, and he can read my mind sometimes. So I just share like, these are the accessories I want. These are kind of some source images, and he just kind of sketches them all together and just makes them look better than what I initially intended. So at that point, it's finding a sculptor. So after we kind of like figure out that concept art, we'll find a sculptor. They'll sculpt all together. There's gonna be a little back and forth and changes. Now I can get those sculpts, test them out, see where they fit, whether they need to be smaller at one point or another, whether it's flimsy at one point, whether it can be changed, whether any kind of size changes that need to happen. I can kind of figure that out very quickly now after I 3D print it.
So they sculpt it, they'll send you the file, and then you'll print it out and just kind of play with it from there, right?
Yeah. Exactly. And then once we've nailed down the sculpts and nailed down the colorways, I send it out to my factory in Asia, and they'll look at that. They'll sometimes give me feedback, because 3D printing is very, very different from injection molding.
Yeah.
So you're not always going to get the same results. So they'll first like get some paint concepts to make sure it matches what Green Bomb and I have kind of like put together on the color sides. Maybe like once we actually see it in person, like the color doesn't look right, maybe it should be a little bit different, whatever. But once we lock that down, then you start working on the steel tooling, and that's when like they're drilling into and making these shapes, and then they start doing test sculpts and kind of we'll see, hey, when this piece is coming out, it's all warped. Well, how do we have to fix that? So sometimes things need to be a little bit thicker, so they'll make adjustments here and there. I get a couple of those prototypes. I'll get the paint masters, and then once I'm happy with it, I approve it, and then we have to work on the box art. It's just a matter of like solicitations, promo shots, creating all like the Amazon listings, all that, which is a pain in the ass these days. And then that's hopefully just sending it out, getting to the right hands. And that's I don't really market. I just work with photographers and people who have like their own channels and can do the reviews for it.
I think you've been doing a great job of that because word of mouth is great. Everywhere you look, I see some of your stuff in someone's photos, and you're just out there everywhere. So definitely doing a great job. I just was trying to get in that psyche of what how do you get started?
Yeah,
like, do you work with the
nothing
team?
What I do is really proprietary. I think if anyone wants to do this, reach out to me. Like I'll, if I want to do this, I'm like, oh yeah, let's try to do it together. I'm always open to collaborate. I don't have enough time as is to do everything I want to do.
Right.
I'm sure other people know niches in the transformer space that they think will do it. Like, it's not difficult to make this stuff these days. Like this stuff you couldn't do 10 years ago, but both like technology and kind of access to manufacturers is better today than ever was. So you don't need to be a big corporation. You definitely need capital, but if you understand your audience well, I feel fairly comfortable. I can at least at a minimum break even on anything I do.
Oh,
right.
We got some questions real quick here from the viewers. Greg says, have you looked at columns yet to add to that ad support when people go to make multiple floors with it?
Jesus.
So like, I mean, if it's just like a one like this, you don't really need columns. If you want to start adding floors, you can still you have these angle pieces, these 90-degree pieces, so you can build around that way. It's pretty stable and it's light, so I have not tested how big a floor can be before it collapses, but it's for the most part. I now that I have enough, like now that I have the case came in last week, I can actually start testing that. But it's not. This is not going to come with columns, and hopefully people, and maybe some crazy mad person is going to make like a construction kind of construction yard with like floors where it's all connected, and they'll find out that it's not as stable. But I literally don't have enough like sets to make something like that yet.
Yeah,
gotcha.
But that, like you said, it's out there. People can make columns, right? You can, peg it in, make a column, peg it in.
Listen, if some crazy person wants to spend like $400 buying sets so they can make themselves like a multi-storied building, then like good for you. But
it's gonna happen.
I mean, the market for like making columns for like those 3 or 4 people who can do that is small.
It's niche.
So if there's a need, I can definitely have it. Like I can definitely do a 3D print for it, and that'll help out and for those people. But otherwise, I don't know if it's enough for. Like I know the reality is like a couple people. Some people buy just like one. Couple people buy maybe like 3 or 4, and that's gonna be like their weapons background. Because I think that's like 3 or 4 is actually a really good size where it's very modular. You can do a lot of things with it, and also hold a ton of weapons.
Yeah. I'm still just blown away that what you're holding there is 2 sets. Like
exactly
3 or 4, you really are gonna go to town.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things you can build with something with just like 2 sets.
Yeah, amazing.
So it's I'm at, like what's important to me is if I'm having fun with it, I know people have fun with it because I have pretty high standards.
Mike Heck says, "What's your favorite one?"
Favorite one? What?
Like favorite set.
Like,
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, my favorite set right now is, I think I like the Cascade of Cruelty. That was like a really fun set to design. But I really like the arcade. I'm really happy with how the arcades came out.
Yeah,
they're so clean. So clean.
Yeah, I'm thinking of making another accessory with like a light gun thing that can attach on. But I have to I just need to modify. Yeah, I just need to modify I can use the existing plate there and just add like a holster and a gun, and then. But I don't know how I'm gonna be. I don't know if I can offer that like in a set. I might just have to just offer that as a 3D download. Yeah.
Okay.
Very.
And then he says, have any companies approached to use their branding on any minis?
Nope.
No.
I mean, people have asked me about like, do I want to do licensed products, and it doesn't really work for my line because I'm trying to cover as many brands and collectors and genres as possible. So
Right.
I don't think I would do I don't think I do licensing for something if because it kind of blocks out other collecting lines, you know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
So I've
It
thought
defeats
about it.
Honestly, I
Like,
mean,
unless I can make
this
something.
doesn't need to say Marvel Capcom 2. Like you can tell that's a fighting game arcade,
Right.
or this is a space arcade, like a shooter or something like that. Like
That's Galaga,
you can
sir.
just tell. Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, that just looks like Marvel Capcom 2. You get the gist, cats with knives, it's just so good.
Yeah.
Like when
No,
you
I
come
worked
up
with a
with
great
that,
artist,
cats with knives.
I mean, I kind of wanted to do like a parody Street Fighter thing, and
Yeah.
it's like I'm like, okay, maybe we can make them animals, and I'm like, well, what's that one thing that will make them, a little better fighting game? They all had like swords and knives, so cats with knives and it's like cats with knives too, because like when Street Fighter 2 came out,
Yes,
no one knew
too.
what Street Fighter 1 was. So you're just like, okay,
Right.
you just ran with it.
Boulevard
No,
Brothers.
I worked with a really great artist named Jake Eckes on that one, and I had an idea and I kind of knew what to do with it, and then he just made them look incredible, like kind of basically just pulling what I was trying to look for, like something like stupid and silly, a little bit like Marvel vs. Capcom, but fun and stupid. So he pulled it off perfectly.
Everything fits in there so nicely.
It does.
So good.
Mirage says, got to admit, I thank Super Action Stuff for giving us boxing gloves because I need it for a custom.
That might be one of my other favorite accessories, like those boxing gloves. Just hit the spot really well, and then you can have so many.
My suggestion also is get some of these little baggies from the craft section at Walmart, and you could put all your accessories, the little guys, in there.
I keep it with what it comes in, sir. Whatever set it comes in, it stays with that set.
It does too, but it's just I don't want to. I do too, but I keep that little bag in here now, so I don't lose anything.
These sets on me, like I keep that thing on me.
Yeah,
I thought you were trying to say you
put
put those in the little bags in the little bags.
No.
I don't reuse those little bags.
Is I should have put the light switch on the outside because it's
okay.
I find it's really annoying to open up the back. So future light sets, I'll probably.
It was difficult. It was difficult to get the batteries in there, but once because you got to slide this little panel over to open it. It was a little difficult, but you get by. I mean, we're not children. We can figure. Exactly. We're resilient. We learn. We're learning computers.
Look, that hibernation, universal hibernation pod made me put the whole battery thing together, like literally. Like,
yeah.
Pods, it makes you bend like the metal, so you can put the batteries in there. You wire it yourself, so that I can get over. Like
if I can figure this out,
I could do that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if there was just a push button, a click button on the side,
yeah, I would do that next time, because if it's annoying to me, I know it's annoying to everyone else. So
right,
I'll make that change for the next light one.
Yeah, but it does keep the external clear.
I do use my Dom boxes, Dom. I do use my Dom boxes. For those who don't know what the Dom boxes is, they're Michael's like pencil holders. So you can it just clicks and close, but it holds the figure. It can hold like a Mezco figure. It can hold any really.
No, aren't they photo? They're photo holders, aren't they? And they come in. There's like 12 in a box.
So,
people thought I was buying them for kids at school when I bought like 50 of them at one time at the store. They're like, "Oh, you doing a school project? You're a teacher?" Nah, these are for my action figures. I'm sorry.
Toys.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what's nice though. My wife is a teacher, and she gets like a 20% or something discount, or 15% discount on top of the regular discounts at Michael's. It's very nice. Yeah, if you're an educator, look into those discounts.
That's what I should be educating. Greg says, do you think one of those VR gaming pods is something that would have enough demand to be worth doing? Kind of like Ready Player One chair / pod.
It's pretty niche, but I mean, it's something out there for everybody, right? So,
yeah.
I can walk through like my analysis for like something like that. So usually when I try to think of accessory, like I'm thinking, what are like the different toy lines that this will work with? So, like, for example, I'm working on a Magic set right now. So the Magic set, it's going to have stuff like there's a lot of Mythic Legions in there now with like their upcoming wave. You got your Doctor Stranges.
Magic, I got. I'm thinking Magic, like he's got like playing cards and magic wands and top hats, right? And then he said Mythic. I was like, then it clicked. I don't know if you could see the light go off in my head, but as soon as he said Mythic Legion, I was like, oh, like magic effects coming off like your lightning and stuff like that, right?
Right.
I'm
You're thinking
thinking magic,
like Joe Bluth
like
with
yeah. I'm thinking like spread out
Illusionist.
cards and top. I was like, man, that's really niche. Why does he want a magic set like that?
Well, funny you mentioned that because like a lot of it's gonna be like Doctor Strange, like and Lord of the Rings type magic and mystic. But I am including a top hat with rabbit in there just for fun.
Oh, I love it. That's fun. Okay.
I work for
There's that one accessory that is like I thought for Zatanna exactly.
Yep.
So there's that one accessory for like modern magic, but otherwise it's going to be like a lot of effects. Actually, let me ask you guys. Like, I'm trying to figure out like what the case is going to be. I'm leaning on a magic portal, but it could also be like a big chest, enchanted chest.
Okay. I like an enchanted chest, like a mimic.
Hold on,
right?
Hear me out.
There's going to be a chest in there no matter what. It's a question if it's a small chest that's going to be in there, or whether it's going to be a large chest and that's going to be the piece. But
how about
I feel like a teleporting portal thing is also pretty useful.
This is what you could do. Just hear me out.
Yeah.
Throwing this out there.
Let's go.
So you know how they cut people in half? Those kind of boxes?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. A magic box like that.
Right. And you could put a figure in there where they put like I don't know how you would do it. Like you can put like the saw blade in between and make it look like they're getting cut in half.
And then you take your figure and pop them at the waist and they each happen. And then you actually can separate your figure in half and do a magic trick.
Yeah.
Just buy those Eternals figures for like $3 a piece and just cut them in half. That's fine.
Yeah. Just cut them right in half. Especially those what are they loyal subjects? Yeah, definitely cut them in half.
Yeah, exactly.
So I like a portal idea though.
The portal.
I like the portal. If it was like on a base, right? And then the base is what held everything. And then the portal had maybe different inserts or something like a yellow or blue or green insert. Maybe if it lit up or something from the bottom.
Something like that.
That's
a cauldron.
A cauldron.
I like that
would
idea.
work
I like
too.
the idea of like having like inserts kind of so you have different color
portals. Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good idea.
What really
like that Donatello portal.
Yeah, so I don't think I'd do like a Square technology one. I do like a
Stargate.
I wouldn't do like a it wouldn't be like the Loki ones where it's like very technology focused. I do like a kind of a wavy circular ovalish one.
Like a Dungeons and Dragons type portal is what I'm envisioning.
Yeah, really, really more like mythical
swirly
magic stuff.
Yeah, a swirly portal. Yeah.
We can
and then the bottom, the base would be your holder of all your goods underneath.
Yeah, I'd either have like smoke there or something like that. I'd probably do like smoke or rocks.
Like a wand also.
That's what I'm thinking.
Kind of you're gonna have your spellcasters, of course, that use wands to go with the hat also. That'd be pretty cool.
Staff, a magic staff with like the rock at the top or something. Yeah. Okay.
There's gonna be a staff with like a stone at the top with that effect that lights off.
Love it.
Yeah.
Emits out of it. We'll have lots of like hand magic like effects.
Yeah.
Magic hats in there. Exciting. So that one's like I'm working on that one right now. That one's a lot of fun. Pulling from a lot of different like movie sources to put that together.
Steph makes some magic effects himself, right? You're kind of a scientist yourself.
Yeah. So like I've been dabbling in like ways to make it practical but not too heavy because I 3D print, so weight starts to become an issue. So I did a lot of like you said, the Doctor Strange type wrist effects. So you take off the hand, you put the magic piece on, you put the hand back on, so it looks like casting like that. So using that as a basis, or peg holes on the back, so you have some sort of rear facing effect coming toward you, or even just kind of auras. That's always huge. And Greg,
it's always useful.
Power up auras, like you could use for Dragon Ball or anybody for that matter.
Yeah.
What is it? What we were talking about one time. I was saying that kind of could also work. I was just thinking about this as it works as a box too. It's one of those I always forget the name of it, but it's like it almost like it's like a mirror, like kind of like a mirror image, but it makes it look like it's deeper than what it already is.
The infinity mirrors.
Oh, you mean
infinity
like
box? Yeah, infinity mirror. Yeah.
Like you could, like that'd be nice. Like like almost like have like a hologram in front of it, like kind of like a hologram infinity mirror. and then like the back of it opens, and then you have that, and that could be that could be the portal itself.
And with those infinity mirrors, if you put an insert like behind it or whatever, it actually will create almost like a hologram effect.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if it's lit and you just had two pieces of plastic with a light coming source in the middle, that would create that infinity look. And then you put a little insert in there or something, like you could definitely get some cool, you know.
Is that a Pepper's Ghost effect, or is that something else?
It's kind of like that. I mean, if you look up like there's people that make like coffee tables, right? And you just take a piece of glass and then a line of LEDs in between, and then another piece of glass.
Yes. Right. Okay.
And it looks like you're going down into a well, right? It just looks like a never-ending hole, right? My Christmas star for my tree is similar to that. It's a star, it's a mirror where no matter which way you're looking at it, it looks just like an infinity hole into into a portal, right? So if you had something like that you could do something with, I mean, the way LEDs are so small nowadays, you might be able to do, or that lit filament, that filament light, it's almost like fiber optic lighting, maybe something like that around a portal hole where you could create that effect, with two pieces of Mylar or something like that. There's definitely ways to get around it.
Yeah,
you're with the right group of people to brainstorm.
If you can do it at that scale, but I'm gonna look into that. It's doable.
Just real quick, we got some comments here. Let me go back a little bit here.
Yeah, we're behind.
Yeah, Mike says make a glowing book.
Ooh.
Mike also says
Spell
portal
book.
of power. Oh god, I broke my finger for magic trick. Cauldron of cruelty.
Yeah, I was originally thinking about doing a cauldron for it, but I might just do a small cauldron. And I like the idea of a portal as it's a good background piece.
Yeah, it really is.
Grace says dark portal from Warcraft. Don says the inserts is a good idea. The one downside of the Doctor Strange portal is it's just a ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike says, I'm sorry. Yeah, and that's the only other thing. Yeah. Mike says the portal display Savage Crucible used with cell phone pop was
clever.
Pop on was great.
Yeah, did you see that, Greg? They made a portal that you insert your cell phone into, or whatever, or an iPad with a portal.
Was that at Legion's Con? I thought I saw that there, right?
PowerCon. I think you're muted.
Okay,
Steph.
yeah, I saw a video of that.
Yeah, that was definitely PowerCon.
Yeah, but I think that's been around for a while. I've seen that done like a couple
I mean, people do that on D&D campaigns. That's a staple. Like that's an old technology, but it's clever.
People were putting that in their t-shirts for a while too.
Yeah, exactly. It's so clever.
The difficulty is that phones are like different sizes these days.
Exactly.
And how are you going to take pictures of your figures after that?
Now I've seen ways that people take the phone and you can get like a pyramid of plastic or whatever. Have you seen this? It's like a reverse pyramid, and when it will take the image from your phone and create a 3-dimensional almost hologram. Like I've seen a butterfly flapping, right?
Yes.
And it's an inverse pyramid of acrylic, and you put that on your phone, and now you've got like a 3D butterfly flapping in front of you. It's really cool.
Yeah, I've seen.
So that's something.
Making, like CD.
I might just get one of those anyway for like. That's cool.
Yeah, that's in the line of a Pepper's Ghost though, of where it's refracting the light from another source and creating a hologram effect. It's pretty cool.
Strine says magic circle accessories would be great. Mike says magical wall of water. Greg says I always wish DST Stargaze has physical puddles. Yeah. Mike says a crystal ball you can stick a Marvel Legends head in, like the Madame Leota or Mysterio.
Oh, that's cool.
There's going to be a crystal ball in that set.
Greg's like taking notes right here.
Greg also says Infinity Mirrors. Yeah. Dom says Infinity Mirrors is coming second Thursday of every month to this channel.
Equation Infinity Mirrors.
That's one too many shows at this point. Greg says they also they use two-way mirror film to create it with LEDs. Talking about the Infinity boxes.
Yeah.
Art says, what about a corpse set? Organs, limbs, burned body parts, burnt part that you attach to the front of the figure as if the intestines were spilling out.
Ooh, that's pretty violent.
Mike said a hot glued LED dollar store lights to Doctor Strange. Paul joins us. What's going on, Paul?
Hey, Paulie, what's up, man?
And Phone Formers joins us as well.
Trackmaster.
And then Greg says, Damien, that hologram tech has been around since mid '90s. They used to be spheres. You drop things into at those mall science stores.
Yeah, I remember those like
Sharper Image
in the '90s.
Yeah, and when you talk Mythic Legions, you wake up the great one, 1/6 shooter.
Somebody said Mythic Legions. What? Somebody said Mythic Legions.
Exactly.
I'm here, guys. Trevor's here.
He's like, I'm here.
That's great.
Who said Mythic Legions? I'm here.
Yeah. That's great, man. So what what else so you have the weapons rack, right? You're working on a magic set. Anything else that you want to kind of allude to what's in your brain? What's rattling around in there?
Magic set's being worked on. I got like a martial arts fighting set after that. We'll have like more like fighting effects and melee weapons. I'm trying to figure out what the container is gonna be for that. I was thinking about doing like the wooden dummy is too small for it. I need something a little bigger, but
ever think of anything like onomatopoeias, like bamf and boof and pow and kabow and that kind of stuff, like comic effects?
Yeah, I've seen those before. I know
ACBA.
I know ACBA does those, and they're pretty effective. I've seen Mezco. Mezco had them too in like one of their I think it was like their Christmas Gomez pack, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think it was like classic Batman.
They're scattered about. They are scattered about. I just didn't know if you would ever think of doing an actual like a whole set of something like that. But
yeah, I might include it like as one or two pieces, something like that. But I know they're out there. I don't see people using them as much, so I'm like kind of wondering. Like I have them too, and like I don't really use them. If I want to add an action thing, I just kind of add it in post. So I don't know.
Right. Okay, that's fair. People always asking me to make those things, and I'm just like, I don't want to like the work for me to make onomatopoeias. Like it's just like the juice isn't worth the squeeze,
It's not.
Yeah.
And you have a select few, like Greg said, you have a select few photographers that actually use them, and it's for very specific comic shots. More often than not, photographers are going for just pure visual stimulus, pure action. It's well, they know people don't read, so they're not going to read a comment bubble. So
it really only makes sense if you're trying to go for that like that Batman TV show type look or old comic style. So it doesn't work for everything.
Yeah, like that true ACBA stuff. Like I just saw a photo last week where he was doing it. It said "foom," and it was they actually used that to hide the flight stand. So very practical effects in that sense.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
but yeah, like
I feel
you said,
if you
it's
want to do
very
that,
niche.
anyone with like a color printer can do that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
it's sure. Because what I do is I usually just print it out and then glue it to like a piece of black
cardstock or whatever.
Yeah, cardstock.
Yeah,
and then just cut it out myself and just like bam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greg makes a good point about Can of Beams doing a bunch of those comic visual effects as well. And yeah, I mean, Can of Beams is right up there, with the effects and the magic effects and stuff. He does a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Can of Beams.
Do you ever get any hate? How's that? Do you ever get any hate? Do you ever get any like other creators saying, "Hey, I made that too," or anything like that? Where you get, I don't want to say hate, but shade. Anyone ever throw shade at you for something that you've made?
Unsavory comparison.
Not
unsavory comparisons, like with the arcade machines.
No, I mean I've had people say, "Oh, I like the Valiverse effects better." I'm like, okay, I like them better too. So it's
right.
I'm making all generic stuff. So I think with the creator community, it's just trying to make the best stuff for the audience, the community, and like you can do a better price or better quality or a combination of both. And I think we're all just striving to like make better products for everyone.
Yeah, we're just trying to be a part of the community. You're not the only one making accessories. I'm not the only making what I make. So like you just there's something out there for everybody. It's big enough community that we all can thrive in it.
Everyone can eat. Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yep. Everyone can eat.
Yeah.
You don't have to. What is it? You don't. Someone else doesn't have to lose for you to win.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Right. So, yeah, I think the only times I get maybe, I get a lot of hit-ups for people who want free stuff. That's the only time whenever I say, I'm sorry, you only have 1,000 followers on TikTok. I don't think I can give you free stuff.
Right.
That's the only time I get some
promo.
Otherwise people are generally pretty cool.
See, I didn't peel these things off because I thought they were stickers and I didn't want to have to worry about like sticking and unsticking them. But they're like color forms.
The window clings.
Yeah, they're window clings. I'm learning something every
just as a note, I'm finding that like there's a little bit of like manufacturing powder on the screen. So if you do give that a little wipe, they'll stick better. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
And the screen pops out too. I don't know. Is that intentional for the screen to pop out?
Yeah.
Because my screen popped out and I was like, oh my God, did I just break this? Like I was worried. So.
Mike Heck says Kyle Robinson probably happy you gave him a constant supply of cabinets to Deco since Ollie's drying up.
Yeah, Kyle Robinson's beast.
Yeah,
Matthew says
props.
I can't do the licensed arcade thing. So if he wants to do it and to offer that kind of like more variety, then he doesn't best. So.
I mean, not for nothing. I mean, anybody can just trace this and make their own, stickers or whatever for these. Sure. I mean, the shape is there. Put it down, measure it, throw it in Photoshop, and make your own stickers if you want to make your own personal licensed one. But totally get where you're coming from to make these accessible to the masses.
Definitely.
And I think that's the essence of it. It's of course, you can go through all the hoops and flames to make it yourself, but at the price, at the quality, get the super action stuff easy. That's a no-brainer.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, don't reinvent the wheel. There's no reason to reinvent it. When it's out there, something's out there that you don't have to make. It's just go for it,
Yeah. That's the whole
or they'll send you a message like, "Hey, can you make this?"
Yeah, I get a lot of those. I mean, like honestly, I get a lot of great ideas. I get a lot of good ideas that are not necessarily practical, but I'll sit on it for a while. I'm like, maybe there's a way I can make it work. But there's no short of ideas, that's for sure.
Never any shortage of ideas in this community. There's
something. But I would say this, Greg. I hand it to you at Legion's Con last year. You had the greatest idea of all time. Hey, what you want? He's like, yo,
dealing out of the backpack.
You want some curse? You want a curse crate? $20. Come on. You
want curse crate?
Yeah. All right, got you there. Keep going.
It was very clever. It was good.
I'm gonna like. I was too late for me to get a table, but I was kind of like, I love and hate conventions. I love going to conventions and seeing people and seeing what's out there, but I don't like just sitting at a table the entire time. That part sucks.
It's tough.
And I mean, you've done that too. It's like you don't get to move around. You don't get to. You have to wait for people to come to you. And sometimes, it's just, it's not. I don't like that part of it. But I realize if
you don't get to enjoy it as much. Yeah,
right. Exactly. But I know that if I want to have a presence there and be there and offer things, I got to have a table. So I'm doing a small one in Flushing, New York, this month, and I'll probably do one of the toy cons in New Jersey and Parsippany, right?
We got March, March.
Yeah,
and as always,
what's that?
If I got table space, you're more than welcome to jump in with me, man. I'm usually
exactly like all of us. We run a line of tables usually. We usually have 3 or 4 or 5 of us that all run tables together. And we can get you on us. We'll find a spot for you. If you want to get at your own table.
Be next to you guys, just so I can just some around people I can just chill with.
Let me know. I'll talk to Joe and I'll say, Joe, we need to get super action stuff right next to me and Steph, and you'll be between us. And then we could get Dials from Lone Wolf Labs, and we can just set up all your stuff and nothing sells your stuff better than seeing it in use, right?
Yeah.
So. Yeah. I mean, we could put a spot on a table for you that, give you half a table to just throw stuff out there, but people are not going to see it. What we need for you is you need figures. We need to bring figures, dios, set it all up, set up all the little pieces, and really just sell, and then have all your stuff on the side. Like that's really what's going to do it.
I want to. So I'm doing this like one in Flushing this month. I told you about Cosmic Con, so that one's like a smaller scale, but it's really more just to like kind of figure out my logistics for it. Like how many sets do I need to go out there? Was that display thing? Was my display thing look like? But I feel like just putting it out there on display and just letting people play with it, that'll be enough.
Yes.
Because like again, like they're in a closed box, so it's not really retail friendly. You need to like see what's in there. You guys like start playing with it. And, like,
you have to.
Once you put it in your hand, you start thinking, oh, I want to put this on my Spider-Man. I want to put this on my Donatello. So like that's why I know it'll click with people. They have to actually have.
And every show, you're gonna learn something different on how to do something the next show. Right. And I know how you feel about being stuck behind a table, but it's fun. It's the people come to you, they come hang out with you. You're gonna talk shop with them. You know, you have great conversations. People are like, "This is cool. I never know. That's something I never thought about." You know, and I think you're gonna have a great time with it, and it almost becomes an addiction where you're just like, I can't wait to do the next one. I can't wait to, because you're seeing people from the community, you're getting your name out there. You're making money is good too, So it's a fun time. And I saw Matthew just say he'll bring figures and pose them, and the man is a master poser. Yes. He's just fantastic. Yeah. He was at a table with me.
What? We sold Lagos figures for him. So I think it's right? Like I'm right there. Like we sold Lagos figures for him.
Oh yeah, exactly. Once we started, like, we had Lago Figs next to us at one of the shows, and Matthew came over and Dante, they just started posing the figures. And once they started posing them, because he just had them laying on the table, and once they started posing them up and making them look cool, they started selling. People were walking by like, oh my God, that's a cool pose. I have a what is it? Iron Spider, the Legends has art, and I have him posed with some of the webs that I make coming out of him. A guy came over, he's like, I just found this figure at one of the other tables. I want it to look just like the one on your table. And he's like, what do I need? I need a flight stand. I need some webs, so seeing things in person is what makes people want to buy stuff. Yeah. What's that?
The Iron Spider. So the Iron Spider, the Legends one, I was so disappointed by that one.
The wall was very disappointing. So you get the Amazing Yamaguchi knockoff Waldos for the back. They snap right in. Then you have all that great articulation, because those Waldos, I was just like, what do you mean? There's only 2 parts that bend on this thing? They're flaccid, very, very poor.
Look, you can always 3D print them out yourself too.
Could.
Now you have a 3D.
Why would I do that? I can just get them from Takara Tony, and I'll be good.
Look. You can do that too.
I don't have to reinvent the wheel. We just went over this. Why reinvent the wheel when there's somebody out there already making these things?
I know. But I'm saying you just get the file and just be like, hey, can I print them out? Thank you. Appreciate it.
I got to print it, then I got to paint them, right?
I don't paint.
I don't want to paint.
I don't do that.
Yeah, I don't want. Yeah, see, you don't paint. So you're gonna paint. You're just gonna have gray
exactly
accessory.
It's not one of my favorite suits anyway. I can't stand. I hate that. I hate Iron Spider's suit. I truly hate that suit. That's
really
one of those very few Spider-Man suits.
Just the comic one, or do you hate the movie one?
Yeah, the red and gold, or like the
both. I hate both of them.
I love that one. It's one of my favorites.
No, because the whole point, like, you're supposed to be Spider-Man. You're not supposed to be like going on here and be like, well, I'm Peter Parker. I put my family in danger just because I'll unmask myself. That suit was just
You're going too deep into it. You're going into the reason for it all, and that's why you hate it.
No, okay. I think I don't like the look of it. I don't think you need spider leg like the Waldos for that. Like I don't think you need that. You're Spider-Man.
Going back to Civil War, I thought it was a very good part of the story, because him putting Tony Stark technology in his suit was a metaphor for him compromising his morals on the Civil War ideology battle. That's why I think it was important.
That's why I don't like it.
Like, compromise. That's okay. You can all like it. But I thought it was a good storytelling thing.
Yeah. Tell Dante how much you love McFarlane figures too. Dante has a hate relationship with McFarlane figures.
Uncle Todd.
Listen, I have a lot of respect for Todd McFarlane, and he's done amazing things for that. I think he's a better. Okay, let me finish. He's a better toy maker than he is an artist, and he's an amazing, groundbreaking artist. That says a lot of him as a toy maker. That said, it's very difficult for me to collect McFarlane's. I can't. I respect that a lot of people like them. I respect that they're a great price point. He gets them in.
Not to mention, their scale he's a 7-inch scale, so a lot of your accessories don't really work with them. Yeah,
I try to make a fit. I recognize there's a community, but if I'm going to buy DC figures, I'm buying Mafex. It's just there's more bang for your buck, and you get the perfect version.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I respect there's a community for McFarlane. He's offering it at a great price point for what it is.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. I was just going to say that he's jumping to $40. So
yeah, for the gold label, I think that's a little cheap, but there's reasons he's doing it. But for the most part, any kid out there who wants a Batman can go into a Walmart and get it for $20, and that says something.
Well, I'm sure you can get like 50,000 Batmans from him. He's got 50,000 Batmans already ready for you.
Yeah.
There's 50,000 Spider-Mans. There's 50,000 Captain Americas.
Hey, who's better like this? Okay, so you're making, but the thing is, the Spider-Man suits make sense. He just makes Batman just for Batman. He's like, look,
go on the Dark Batman.
Right, exactly. Jokerized Batman.
But the reason is because
we definitely got Dante on this soapbox now.
It's okay. I like this dialogue, but like his audience is not us. His audience is a retailer. That's why.
Yeah. And he tricks them every time. Like me personally,
every time.
But see, this is the thing I don't like. My main thing is I don't like about him. He lied during his Kickstarter.
Yes.
Going all the way back. He really holding the candle for this, man.
No, because I was happy. I was like, I wanted an articulated Spawn. Everybody wanted an articulated Spawn for a very long time. We thought that's what we were going to get. But then after you got our money, you said, "Oh, we don't know how to put joint like ab articulation into the chest, so we're going to take it out." I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You don't know how to do what? What?
Okay. I mean, but then you have like Brian from Super 7 saying we can't vacuum form Silverhawks. This is the only Silverhawk you're going to get. And then a year later, hey, we can vacuum. Like, here's your Silverhawks. Like, it's a retailer thing, man.
But hold on, he went back on it and said we can do it. It's not like he said, "Hey, we can't do it at all. Never ever. You're not going to get it." Todd was like, "I don't know how to make this Spawn articulate in the chest, so I'm just gonna make him like a statue. You can move his legs, his knees, his arms, his elbows, and his head, and that's it."
My problem,
but he's stuck in the one pose. Is like this. He's like
asymmetrical. Yeah.
I don't want my Spawn like that. I want them to be articulated. Like I just.
I love it.
I personally do not like the figs. I will not buy McFarlane. It's not for me. But he's obviously doing something right. He's as a business person, as a toy maker, I respect that.
Yes, as a businessman and a toy maker. Yeah, as a creator.
Mattel had the DC line. I thought they were better figures, but they couldn't keep the license. And Mattel is really and DC is really happy with McFarlane. So he's doing something right. It's just not for us.
Good job with the Warhammer stuff. That stuff I love, really love.
Yeah, the other stuff he like. So if it's not DC, other stuff he makes is great. As long as saying DC or Spawn, he can't do either one of those. Like to me, he can't do either one of those right. Why do you still see joints in the hands? Like I shouldn't be able to see the joints in the hands. You're not. This is not an import figure. Like I shouldn't see this.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason why. Is that how you cheaping out on like saying, "Hey, we can do this"? And it's like the figures can. Very few people get good poses out of them, but still, it's just like you're just looking at something that's just going to stand there. It can't stand on their own without.
Let's let Dante cool off. Let's let Dante cool off.
I'm good. I'm cool. I'm cool off.
He's triggered. It's okay. I get it.
What's your favorite line of
photographers?
Yeah, so being a creator and a photographer and all that good stuff, what's your favorite line of figures? I know you said Mafex or Mafex, however someone wants to say it, but do you prefer those over SH Figure Arts or just straight up Legends? Like, what's one of your favorite lines that you collect?
It's hard. Like everything has their own kind of flavor, and then everything's at a different price point. I think you're talking about Zoe, but like from a mass market price point, GI Joe is killing it. I don't think anyone's doing better than GI Joe right now. The articulation, the paint, the designs are just really solidly. I think they've stepped back a little bit in some of the quality. Like a lot of the accessories, a lot of the joints are a little bit crappier. They've made some, but for the most part, they're still better than, for like the price point, they're still better than Legends. And I collect the Legends like from the beginning. I think from the Galactus wave. That's when I started getting the Legends. Like from the Toy Biz era, and I have pretty much stopped collecting. I've stopped collecting most Legends. I probably maybe only buy like 5 or 10% of them now. I just like very, very selective on what they're. So I think that line's dipped a lot. There's been some improvements, like the pinless and the face sculpts have gotten a lot better. I think a lot of it's also like the movies are just not great, so I have like less interest in getting those. So, but for like the mass market lines, GI Joe is my favorite. Figure arts I like, but the scale's too small. There's some like gems in there, I got the Sentinel Gwen Stacy. I should have got the figure arts one. I think that one's a much better one. Mezco I love for a lot of the Rumble Society figures. I haven't gotten all of them recently, but like Pink Skulls, Vapor, Popeye, a lot of those characters, like some of the best soft goods figures.
Popeye's good.
At that $100 level. There's a lot of really good stuff that they pumped out. Mofex, I'm starting to get into more. A lot of the X-Men figures are great. I think they have like the definitive Batman and Superman out there that no one else is even close to. And then you like the weirder stuff like Mythic Legions. Has impressed me every single year. Every time they do something new, like their design sculpting is incredible. I missed that figure at Legions Con. I was like, I saw that on I saw them post on Instagram. Like, oh, that looks cool, but I gotta go. And I realized that the one thing I thought that talking about this at Toy Fair. Like one thing I didn't like about Legions is the articulation is not quite there. And now they're fixing that. So I'm looking forward to see what they. It's probably gonna take like 3-4 years before that's standard, but I'm looking forward to it.
And they're still doing it with single jointed hinges. Is pretty impressive.
Yeah. So the sculpt is there, the paint is there. They're almost perfect. What else am I also missing? I collect a lot of stuff. I keep on finding good stuff out there. A lot of this like third party stuff is coming out of like the Fury
like
toy
5K
stuff.
and stuff. I love those. Yeah, they're great.
So
Master Wang. I need to get that Veteran Williams still, but
I got this like Monkey King figure last year. Which was, I haven't played enough of that one, but like the accessories and cloth goods are really good.
They say it's the best rendition of that character ever.
Yeah, I mean I like the Four Horsemen one, but I like that leaner kind of physique and like the attachable arms that comes with it. So it's a really fun figure.
Right.
Berserker Studios is somebody like he get looked over, but even though they put out like maybe like 1 or 2 figures per year, they've been really like knocking it apart with their like
the Hades and the Zeus.
Yeah, Hades, Poseidon. They make they're just making like the Greek gods right now. So they did Zeus, they done Hades, Poseidon is the newest one to come up for as Gary get released. But they've really they've been looked over and I think they're going to start making a push once they start ramping up a little bit more.
We can't even call them third party anymore. I mean, they're really stepping into the arena right now. The Memory Toys, Loose Collector with his new line with the werewolves, the Jekyll and Hyde. The ladies. They're coming. They're coming for the Western toy manufacturers.
Duray or whatever.
Breaking Bad figures.
Yeah. It's good for us.
Yeah, somebody asked me for Breaking Bad sign, and I was like, for what? And they're like, oh, the figures. And I was like, oh, there's Breaking Bad figures. So
yeah, they're not real ones, but they're amazingly well done.
Yeah. Spitting image. Really, really good stuff.
All right, gentlemen.
Nice.
We'll go ahead and wrap it up. But thank you, Greg, for joining us. It was great talking to you. It was a pleasure.
No, pleasure. I look forward to see you guys in the next con.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, man, definitely. If you're gonna come to ToyCon, let me know. I'll reach out. We'll talk.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to let me do like a test case with a smaller con.
Yeah,
Figure out I can do it all right, and then I'm gonna reach out to Joe and Observe. I'll see if I can get next to you guys.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Awesome.
And figure out how many cartons I got to bring out there. But yeah, no, I'm gonna have the game on there, the cursor crate, the caskets, a bunch of other junk. I gotta figure out how much
weapons
stuff
racks
out there.
Yeah.
Weapons racks. I'll probably have a couple out there just to show. Yeah,
definitely.
Just so people can play around with them a little bit. Because I don't have enough to sell, but I have enough to just so you guys can Lego.
You can build the momentum for it. Absolutely. Hey, you can go to my website and pre-order these now. These are these will be available. Pre-order them right now. Definitely.
Yeah,
I'll be at Chris Con also. So we'll do the tour, man.
Where's that one in Massachusetts, or where is that? Yeah.
I asked Chris if he's doing it. He hasn't responded yet. Does he give a date yet?
No date yet. But
because I'm trying to plan my tour. I'm trying to get into ZoloCon still. I'm waiting for them to give me a table.
Yes.
So
I'm trying to get a table. It's a lot in there, so they got space.
I know I've been talking to them. They're like, oh, we're sold out, but we're going to try to get you a table. I'm like, it's the end of this month. I need to prepare.
Right.
So trying to build my world tour.
But Greg,
where can we find you? Oh, go on.
Yeah. Oh no, you said it. Go ahead.
Yeah. You're the host, Dante. Do your thing.
Greg, where can beautiful people find you at?
Superactionstuff.com. That's the store. All my products are available there, including Game On. I don't do pre-orders. I'll do pre-orders through vendors, but I'll let people. I always have units available. I always kind of make more than I should, but that's okay because I don't want people to miss out on it. Usually, if I release something, I usually have enough inventory for at least 6 to 8 months, unless for whatever reason it sells all like crazy. So I always keep enough because I know it's very much of a word of mouth hobby, and I don't like people getting FOMO. So superactionstuff.com. I'm most active on Instagram just because it's a visual medium. So that's where you'll see any funny, crazy pictures I do, as well as any upcoming sets I'm working on. So I showed off the vending machine that I'll get out before the end of the year, but that one's pretty close to entering production. And any kind of updates on sales and anything else I'm usually going to pop that on Instagram first, and then TikTok is usually an afterthought. That's a whole other market, but it's there.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's great.
Thank you again.
Good to hear. Can't wait.
Hopefully you'll see me on more cons on the East Coast.
Definitely.
Yes.
Let's
do it, man. Let's do it.
Yeah. Again, but for me, for Steph, for Damien, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us once again. We'll be back next month. We haven't booked our guests yet.
Thanks for inviting. Love catching up with you guys.
You're welcome anytime. Anytime, Greg.
Yeah.
Love you, brother.
Don't forget this Friday. We got a special guest coming to join us on Friday. So once again, I want to make sure. I hope this guest can make it.
It's not Todd McFarlane.
It'll never. Yo, I tell you, if I see Todd McFarlane face to face, I'm like, get the camera out. This is the interview of your lifetime right now.
We're gonna have words. Yeah,
exactly.
All right, go. Boy, that's a trigger word. It's a real trigger word for you, Dante.
Oh, yeah, it is. The name triggers me.
McFarlane is a trigger word.
But it's this guest. I hopefully if they're still able to do it on Friday, you'll be thoroughly enjoyed with this one. So something that most of us have watched on TV. So
okay. What's Steph?
I'm just building anticipation.
I'm like, man, you figured that out quick.
Yeah,
right. I was there. Yo, you figured that out quick, really, didn't you? All right, but y'all be safe. Have a great week. Hope everything goes well for everybody. Until then, see you Friday.
All right.
It's out.